Part 77. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich John Word. Chapter 761. Chapter 761. Can you be more careful? Okay, I know Sunian, you will say. I don't want to tell you. Sunian, just tell me what you want to do and what you need to do before you let me go. Lan Min said this, couldn't help but sneered. I really don't know what else you are satisfied with. What do you want from me? Lan Min, I don't know what you think. Anyway, I just say, I don't know anything. This is not false. I really don't know anything. If you want to quarrel with me, then you first let me know what happened to make you so excited. It's okay if you don't tell me. I can scold you without any distinction. I will scold you like crazy and use whatever words come to mind. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. Sunian felt that this Lan Min was also a heroine after all, so if something happened, there would definitely be some hot searches. Anyway, the battle will definitely be very big. So Sunian took out his mobile phone and opened Weibo. When I open Weibo, I see an overwhelming amount of news about female protagonists on Weibo. According to insider information, Lan Min had a miscarriage when she was 16 years old. For this reason, she and Huo Linyuan have not been pregnant for so many years. These words successfully made Lan Min's face darken. Nonsense, I didn't. My first time was obviously for Linyuan, for the man I love. When Sunian heard this, he moved his eyes to Lan Min. Can you be more careful? Can you tell me the specific details in detail? It's really not surprising that Sunian was curious about this. After all, when I read plots like this in novels before, they were all mentioned briefly by the story, so I became a little curious. I'm curious about what the specific situation is. When Sunian saw that Lan Min's face was so dark that he was about to drip with tears, he silently withdrew his gaze. We have known each other for so long, why can't we satisfy our curiosity a little bit? Really, we have been dealing with each other for so long. Lan. Sunian continued, it is said that Lan Min's parents are Lao Lai. It is also for this reason that he stays with the Huo family shamelessly and tries his best to marry into the Huo family. It is said that Lan Min finally couldn't listen anymore. She took a deep breath, and then yelled directly at Sunian, shut up, Sunian, do you think it's interesting for you to insult me like this? It's boring, Sunian said frankly. Lan Ji sneered when he heard this. And in order to make Lan Min feel that she was telling the truth, Sunian stood up and walked up to Lan Min, gave her a slap in the face, and held Lan Min in place. Lan Min, you have to know, if I want to do something to you, no one can stop me. I won't do that to someone who takes off his pants and farts. Sunian, do you really think I'm a fool? If you hadn't done it, tell me what else it could have been. Apart from you, I have no conflicts with anyone else. Sunian, you don't worry about this woman who doesn't mean what she says. If Lan Zhen said other things, Sunian might still be speechless, but in this aspect, she did have something to say. I don't have any conflicts with others. Lan Zhen, how old are you now? Your memory is so bad. Come on, let me give you a few examples. For example, you are Huo Linyuan's woman. How many people want your position? They all dream that Huo Linyuan can kick you. Also, you are working now and there are many people in the company who are better than you. Don't they want to get rid of you? I see that some dear readers are very dissatisfied with my recent plot. My only advantage is that I can change. Let me share my recent thoughts. The emotional line between the male and female protagonists. Do you want to see the kind of chasing your wife in the crematorium, not sad, funny, or sweet? Father and son line, calligraphy and painting pit each other. The witty Mr. Lu and Sun Ying Er. If you have any questions, please leave me a message. If I can see it, I will definitely change it. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Which John Word. Chapter 762. Chapter 762, It's not good for people to be too honest. Sunian felt that if someone were to select the top 10 dedicated and vicious female supporting characters, she would definitely be on the list. He actually helped the heroine count her enemies. You are talking nonsense, these people are not at all. Why not? Why don't you think they are? Why don't you think they hate you? Where did you get the conclusion? Tell me. Sunian let go of Lan Min. After all, it's really tiring to be alone like this. Lan Min, they also have families and children of their own, and they also need to survive. Because you block their way, of course they will try their best to move you away. Who do you think you are? Are you a Buddha? You are still the emperor and the queen. Well, even if you are, then there will be people who want to pull you down. Lan Min really didn't know what to say at this moment. But she was still a little dissatisfied and wanted to speak. But nothing could be said. In this way, the heroine spent 3 minutes blocking the words. Finally Lan Min spoke. But as soon as Lan Min said something, Sunian retorted, Lan Min, I hope you should be careful before speaking. You should think carefully about whether you can outshine me. If you can't, if you can speak well, then you will eventually be stunned by me until you are speechless. Such a result, all of which involves sacrificing you to fulfill me. It doesn't matter. It depends on what you think. If you think there is nothing wrong, you can do whatever you want. This success made Lan Min hold back all his words. In the end, Lan Min left in despair. After Lan Min left, Sun Ying'er walked in. Nian Nian, who do you think might have done this? Sunian shook his head. She looked at the dirty information. Putting it in a novel, there must be a particularly powerful villain in such a situation. The protagonist group will face some crises. Sunian felt that he needed to think carefully about what awesome villains had appeared recently. At this moment, Sun Ying'er's voice sounded, Nian Nian, tell me, could it be Lu Jing who did this? Sunian looked at Sun Ying'er in disbelief when he heard this. After all, Lu Jing is one of Lan Min's most loyal lickers in this world. Thinking of this, Sunian thought of Li Baikan. Okay, this licking dog is a bit unreliable. But even if the dog licking is really unreliable, it is impossible for him to do this. Sister, why do you think so? Why do you think it was Lu Jing who did it? In fact, the name Lu Jing can be said to have suddenly popped into her mind. When this name appeared in her mind, Sun Ying'er felt that there might be something wrong with her brain. Suddenly the whole environment was silent. After a long time, Sunian couldn't help but say, how about, let's check. Sun Ying'er nodded. The result was unknown upon checking, but after checking, hey, it really is this guy. Sunian immediately called Lu Jing and asked the guy to roll in front of her as quickly as possible. After Lu Jing appeared, Sunian immediately said, Lu Jing, is there something wrong with your brain? Why did you slander Lan Min? Do you know that after you did this, Lan Min came to me to cause trouble? Unexpectedly, after Sunian finished speaking, Lu Jing nodded seriously, I knew you would cause trouble for your aunt, so I did this. What's the matter? Sunian. Sun Ying'er. Sometimes, this person is too honest, and not very good. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Which John Word. Chapter 763. Chapter 763 Lu Jing, Auntie, don't mess around. It took a long time for Sunian to find her voice. Lu Jing, What have you eaten recently, or what kind of doctor have you seen, which makes your brain work so well? Come on, tell Aunt quickly. She will go right away to send a banner to that doctor, must make the doctor's reputation famous throughout the world, so that it can benefit more people. Lu Jingdu felt a little embarrassed. He touched his head. Actually, I think if the guy guesses it's me all at once, then I'll look very stupid, and he might think I'm just joking, and he doesn't really think I'm angry, so that's how you do it? Wait for Huo Linyuan to check slowly. He searched for a long time before he found out what I said. In front of Zhu'er, I must have appeared to be a particularly powerful person, and my image in Zhu'er's mind was completely changed. Sunian. Sun Ying. Sunian let out a long sigh. Well, what kind of so-called logic can be expected in Mary Sue novels? Can you do this to really make Lan Min fall in love with you? Sun Ying didn't know the world they were in like Sunian. She really couldn't understand this guy's logic, really couldn't understand it. If you like someone, do you use this method? If Lan Zhen really fell in love with Lu Jing after he used such methods, then, she really can't understand this world. Then what else can I do? I have been very devoted to you all these years, but you don't even look at me. No matter what I do, you can't see me. So I can only change my mind. What if I succeed? Sun Ying silently came to Sunian's side at this moment. Nian, I think we should stay away from this guy in the future. I think what if we are infected by him and have a low IQ? If Lu Jing was called stupid at other times, he would probably admit it. But this time he didn't admit it. And Sun, what do you mean by this? How do you call it infected IQ? Is the method I thought of bad? If my IQ was low, how could I have come up with such a method? And Sun? This time Sunian nodded in agreement. Lu Jing's eyes lit up when he saw Sunian nodding in agreement. What does this mean? Does it mean recognition? There is no one who doesn't want to be recognized, especially Lu Jing, who is always suppressed. However, Sunian slowly took out his mobile phone and made a call. Josu, our young master Lu's brain is about to sprout recently. Come over and help our young master Lu loosen the soil. Only in this way can our young master Lu's brain be able to growing up healthily. Auntie, what do you mean? Auntie, please don't mess around. Sunian gave Lu Jing a perfect smile. Did I mess up? My dear nephew, as your aunt, how could I mess up? What can I do to you? I am your elder. What can elders do? What might the juniors do? Josu came very quickly. After Josu came in, he was very gentle and controlled people very gently. Not only that, Josu also said very gently, Madam, don't worry, I will definitely treat young Master Lu well. After all, young Master Lu and I have known each other for such a long time. Young Master Lu has finally grown his brains. I will definitely say something. I will also help Mr. Lu loosen the soil well. In addition, Josu also gently blocked Lu Jing's mouth. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Zhang Word. Chapter 764. Chapter 764. The cigarettes that this young master smokes are all customized. Josu didn't have any sense in his actions this time. You know, during the period when Sunian was pregnant and had a baby, he returned to the company. I am as tired as an ox or a horse every day. Finally waited until Sunian finished giving birth and came back on her own. The salary for working with Sunian and as the assistant to the president in the company are the same. One is so busy that he is dying, and the other is so idle that he is panicking. Anyone with a little bit of brains knows what to choose. Since this is the case, then of course we must seize the opportunity to show off. However, Josu is an honest person after all and knows how to repay kindness, so after the help was done, Josu pulled Lu Jing up with a smile. Master Lu, are you okay? Lu Jing knocked his hand off directly. It's okay, don't you know how heavy your strike is? It's okay, how could I be okay? Now I really feel that all the bones in my body are hurting. I know you are in pain, but who has offended my wife? There is nothing I can do about it. Josu sighed deeply on purpose. But in Lu Jing's ears, this was as false as it could be. Josu took out a pack of cigarettes from his trouser pocket, opened the cigarette case, took one and handed it to Lu Jing. But Lu Jing refused. The cigarettes I smoke are all customized. Josu suddenly felt a little regretful, regretting that I didn't make a fatal move just now. Hey, why do I always get beaten? Is there any justice in God? It really is. Josu put aside the thought of beating this guy up again. Young Master Lu, to be honest, we have known each other for a long time, and I know you well. I really hope you don't make my wife angry. Hey, you always mess with my wife like this. I'm a little embarrassed to hit you. I feel a little guilty. Josu's words can almost be said to rub salt into Lu Jing's wounds. Not only did he sprinkle salt on it, he also stepped on it hard. What do you mean by that? You're talking like you've been wronged a lot. It's me who's being beaten, not you. Don't act like you've been wronged a lot. After Josu heard this, he looked at Lu Jing with contempt. Have you ever gone to school or taken a physics class? Don't you know that forces interact with each other? If I hit you, it will hurt? These words confused Lu Jing. That's right, we were taught in junior high school physics classes that the effects of forces are reciprocal. Lu Jing murmured, then why don't you hit me with a stick? That would be fine. When Lu Jing finished saying this, both of them were shocked. Lu Jing. What on earth did I say? How could I suggest that the person who beat me hit me with a stick? Such behavior is really mentally wrong. This made Lu Jing stand up directly. I have remembered what you said. Don't worry, I will definitely be more careful. I will definitely not make my good aunt angry again. After all, I am a junior who always makes me angry. It's really too much for the elders to be angry. Josu didn't say anything, just looked at Lu Jing quietly. But Lu Jing's heart was really frightened when Josu looked at him like this. Ahem, cough, cough, I don't know why, but I suddenly want to smoke. Josu, do you have any cigarettes? Give me one. Josu said with a half-smile tone, Master Lu, why do you suddenly want to smoke? You didn't say anything just now. You don't smoke my cigarettes because you think my cigarettes are too vulgar. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich John Word. Chapter 765. Chapter 765 Beating someone up. Do we still need to talk about the concept of time? Can you guess what I am thinking, young master? Josu suddenly had an idea when he saw Lu Jing like this. This guy is not trying to use one stupid thing to cover up another stupid thing. Hey, Lu Jing really seems to be able to do such a thing. Lu Jing felt a little scared when Josu looked at him like this. Why are you looking at me like this? Who is this young master? What is your identity? How can you understand this young master with your status? Ever since Josu became Li Baikan's first secretary, no one spoke to him in such a tone. Of course there are people who don't have eyes, but he will use some special methods to make those people have eyes again. But now that Lu Jing said similar words in front of him, Josu didn't feel uncomfortable at all, and even echoed with a stern look on his face, yes, Mr. Lu, what you said is, people like me. How can it be like a big shot like you? You don't remember the faults of villains. Just don't care about them like me. Lu Jing snorted proudly. Master Lu, it's getting late now, let me take you home. When Lu Jing heard this, he glanced at Josu with disgust. You also know that it's getting late now, why didn't you have any sense of time when you hit me just now? You are the first secretary next to Li Baikan, you can't even do this, you don't have any sense of time. Are you really not afraid of others laughing at you if it spreads? Josu, beating someone, do we still need to pay attention to the concept of time? As expected of Mr. Liu. That's what a cow is. Then Josu sent Mr. Liu home. The whole process was very considerate and the service was very attentive. Even when he got out of the car, he thoughtfully blocked his head. Lu Jing is very satisfied with Josu's service. Josu, you are a capable person. I will treat you to dinner and drinks another day. Lu Jing patted Josu on the shoulder when he said this, we will have a good chat then. After all, according to the current situation, we may have regular contact in the future. Young Master Liu, you are trying to offend me by saying this, but you can do whatever you want as long as you are happy, Mr. Liu, it doesn't matter what happens to me. Josu also deliberately spoke to Lu Jing in a flattering tone. If you didn't know better, you would have thought that Josu was Lu Jing's lackey. However, Josu, a loser, is still very dedicated. The reason why I say this is because at this moment, a person suddenly rushed towards Lu Jing quickly. That speed is really fast. But who is Josu? He is the first person around Li Baikan. Just go up and kick. That's right, it's that fast. Very fast. Lu Jing was shocked by Josu's speed. When he reacted, he clapped excitedly, Josu, your skills are really good. You are worthy of being the number one person around Li Baikan. By the way, do you have the idea of changing jobs? If so, what conditions do you need to change jobs? If you have time, I think we can have a good talk. After all, we are so familiar with each other. Just when Lu Jing was chasing Josu with excitement, asking various questions. A weak voice sounded, Lu Jing. Lu Jing was shocked when he heard this. The reason why this happened was because Lu Jing felt that the voice sounded a bit like Lan Min's. After this idea appeared in Lu Jing's mind, Lu Jing turned his head and looked at the place where the man fell. WC, it's really Lan Min. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 766. Chapter 766 Lu Jing, our relationship is far from abandonment. After Lu Jing saw Lan Min's face clearly, he quickly helped him up. Bo, what's wrong with you? Why are you here at this time? You are squatting here. The sky is so dark. No matter how good our eyes are, it's impossible to see you. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Josu next to him was also a little lucky at this time. Happily, this woman has fallen out with her CEO. If it had been in the past, based on how much Li Baikan cared about Lan Min, he would definitely be dead. Fortunately, Lan Min really felt pain all over his body now. After hearing this, his eyes suddenly filled with tears. Did you really not mean it? Do you know? When I was kicked to the ground just now, what was my first reaction? What? Lu Jing asked subconsciously. Lan Min did not answer immediately, but looked like he was preparing for great courage. Lu Jing didn't say anything and waited patiently. After about 3 minutes, Lan Min finally spoke, I thought you abandoned me and didn't want me anymore, I thought. But unexpectedly, Lu Jing shook his head when he heard this, and said with a serious face, Jian'er, you can't say that. The word abandon is wrong for us. After all, the word abandon is generally used. With a stable intimate relationship, we don't seem to have any intimate relationship. Josu next to him. As a man, Josu felt that Lu Jing was very straight. If you were Lan Min, you would definitely not agree to this Lu Jing. If Lu Jing knew what Josu was thinking at this time, he would definitely smile disdainfully. He said this obviously to remind Lanji, to remind her to establish a certain relationship with herself. Only by establishing a certain relationship can we have. Yes, Lu Jing is so smart and witty. When Lan Min heard this, he didn't know what to say. Why did Lu Jing suddenly become sharp-tongued? She remembered that Lu Jing was not like this before. I felt a little embarrassed for a while. But it was at this moment that Lan Jing discovered that Lu Jing's face was bruised and swollen. Lu Jing, what's wrong with your face? Why is your face like this? Who hit you? Aren't you with Sunian and the others today? Could it be that Sunian? When Lan Min said this, he was thinking I was instantly happy. It would be great if Sunian and the others really attack Lu Jing. She didn't believe that Lu Jing couldn't see the true colors of Sunian and others. At this moment, Josu's voice sounded, "Ms. Lan, you'd better not talk nonsense. I did this. What does it have to do with my wife?" This voice, Lan Min's heart skipped a beat. She turned her head silently. Then he saw Josu. "Josu, why are you here?" Lan Min's face looked a little embarrassed. Josu spread his hands helplessly. "I've always been here, but Miss Lan, your eyes can't accommodate a little person like me, and you can't see me at all." When Lan Min heard this, he quickly explained, "Josu, no, I definitely didn't think so, I just..." Lan Min knows better than anyone else that Josu has a vengeful nature. She once saw this guy take revenge on someone who offended him, and he was very ruthless. She was not afraid of Li Baikan before, but now. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 767. Chapter 767. He must let Lan Zhen know that he, Lu Jing, is the man she can't have. My wife thinks that young Master Lu is starting to grow brains today, so she wants me to loosen the soil a little bit for young Master Lu. What's wrong, Miss Lan, do you have any opinion? When Lan Min heard this, he clenched his hands subconsciously. You need to know Mrs. Li's position. For her, it was almost within reach. People, you are such a bastard. Seeing things that belong to her being taken away by others, even if she doesn't like that thing at all, or even doesn't want it at all. At this moment, Josu's voice sounded again, "By the way, Miss Lan, you had a chance to become my wife before. It's really a pity. After all, as a man, I feel that my Mr. Li, he is a 1 in a million good man. Why can't you look down on him? Is it because I am a man and our aesthetics and understanding are different?" Josu shook his head when he said this. That's right, Josu is just rubbing salt into Lan Min's wounds. There is no way, there may not be anyone in this world who can refuse to add insult to injury. Although it is indeed a bit immoral, sometimes, if you completely abandon morality, you will live a very happy life. Very happy. Anyway, Josu can be sure that Li Baikan will never look back. Lan Min's face became increasingly ugly. "Josu, what do you mean by saying this? Did Baikan ask you to come to me and say this?" "Baikan? Why did Mr. Li ask me to come in front of you and say this?" Josu interrupted Lan Min again without hesitation. "Do you mean that Mr. Li asked me to come in front of you and say this to arouse your attention, makes you jealous for him, or something? However, you have never cared about my Mr. Li. If my Mr. Li really does this, wouldn't it be a joke?" These words really made Lan Min speechless. "Okay, Mr. Lu, I've sent you here. I've almost finished what I need to say, so I'm leaving first." After Josu said this, he turned around and left. And Lu Jing waved goodbye very enthusiastically. "Okay, we agreed before that when I find a suitable time, I will treat you to dinner. You can definitely come, and you must give me face. If you don't give me in terms of face, then..." "Master Lu, what are you talking about? Who are you and who am I? If I don't go to your treat, isn't there something wrong with my mind?" Don't worry, I will definitely go. When Josu said this, he waved his hand. Lu Jing laughed when he saw it. During the whole process, the Lan person next to him seemed not to exist. It's also really embarrassing. However, Lan Yan still felt that he had to do something. You must know that the reason why she came here was because Huo Linyuan found out that the recent incidents were all done by Lu Jing. God knows how she felt when she learned the news. Why is this happening? Lu Jing Lan Min shouted. Actually, Lu Jing has been waiting for Lan Min to shout. After all, now he has to put on airs and make this Lan Ren understand that he, Lu Jing, is also a man she can't get. Lu Jing turned back expressionlessly. What's the matter, Lan Min? During this period, he binge-watched a lot of idol dramas all night long, just to imitate the role of a domineering CEO on TV. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 768. Chapter 768. A real man never looks back. What's the matter, Lan? These simple words immediately made Lan Min speechless. You have never called me that before. Lan Min had a look of helplessness on his face. Is there any difference? I used to call you Er, but did you care about me? In your eyes, there is only Huo Linyuan and Li Baikan. Lan Ji fell silent. If there is really nothing wrong, then I'll leave first. I just got beaten today and I feel uncomfortable. I still think it's better to go in and lie down for a while. Lu Jing walked forward as he spoke. At this moment, Lu Jing was shouting in his heart. Hurry up and call me. Finally, Lan Min's voice sounded again. Lu Jing, why are you forcing me? Why, weren't the days like that in the past bad? The days we had before were obviously good. Why are you doing this? Were the days good in the past? Li Baikan and I hung around you. We didn't get married or have children. Lan Min, you can't be so selfish. No matter how much love I have for you, there will always be a day when you will waste it all. After all, I, Lu Jingnae, am the only male of the Lu family and the future head of the Lu family. After saying this, he strode forward. The look of a real man who never looks back. Lu Jing, you. At this time, Lan Min's mind recalled the scene when Li Baikan left him. Why would something like this happen again? Lu Jing was really excited when he walked into the room. Actually, Lu Jing really regretted why he didn't do it all when Li Baikan came up with the idea. If he had done it all at once, he might have won the beauty back now. At this moment, Lu Jing thought of Sun Ying. It's really interesting to stay with Sunian and the others. Almost forgot about the real thing. But thinking about Lan Min's appearance just now, he probably will be able to do it soon. After all, it's like this in idol dramas. When he thought this, Lu Jing couldn't help but get excited. Now I really want to find someone to share the joy of success. Who should I share it with? If you look for Sunian, it's so late. What if Li Baikan misunderstands him? After all, she is a married woman. Then, there is only one choice now. Lu Jing immediately called Sun Ying. This time Sun Ying answered the phone quickly, and after answering the phone, she said in a half-smiling tone, "What's wrong? Why are you still calling me now? You shouldn't be. After you were beaten by Josu, you should take good care of yourself. Is Josu too gentle? If this is really the case, I should talk to Nian. After all, it is a serious matter for people around me to be lazy. If Josu is really so lazy, then I think Josu needs to fight again." After Lu Jing heard this, he immediately lost his composure. No, 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 it's indescribable. Even now I feel like my whole body is falling apart. Then why are you calling me if you don't have a good rest? I think Josu hit you too lightly. That's right, there's good news, there's great good news. I want to find someone to share it with, so I thought of you, and Sunday. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 769. Chapter 769 Josu's helplessness. When Sun Ying-er on the other side of the phone heard this, she was obviously interested in what Lu Jing said. He heard Lu Jing explain his plan in an excited tone. Sun Ying-er after listening. But Lu Jing didn't feel Sun Ying-er's speechlessness at all, and continued to talk to himself, and Sun, it's a pity that you weren't here just now. It would be great if you were here. You could see my ruthless and handsome side. Maybe you, and Sun, will fall in love with me. Lu Jing, you're just going to insult me like this, aren't you? Just wait. After Sun Ying-er said this, she hung up the phone. Lu Jing was holding the phone with a confused look on his face. What's going on? Just hang up the phone. Did he say something wrong? Soon Lu Jing knew why Sun Ying-er hung up the phone and why she asked him to wait. The reason why I say this is because Josu is back again. Lu Jing was also confused when he saw Josu coming back. Josu, why are you back? What's wrong? Is there anything else? You don't want to go drinking now, okay, okay, now my son is gone and I have nothing to do. If you want to drink now, you can. Josu didn't say anything and walked directly to Lu Jing. And punched Lu Jing in the face. Lu Jing. At this time, Josu sighed deeply. Young Master Lu, why did you make them angry again? You said you just let it go, why did you bother me? You know I'm getting a call to beat you up at that time. I happened to meet a girl who was interested in me. If I hadn't come to your place, I might have started a story with that girl. Master Lu, you are such a disaster to me. Josu looked helpless and continued to beat Lu Jing. If you are really interested in being beaten, can you join in once? I'll beat you up in one go. This saves me from running here and there, which is really tiring. Lu Jing. This time Josu was smarter and hit Lu Jing in the face. After all, if Lu Jing wanted to lose face, he would not hang around Sunian and Sun Ying-er in a short period of time. Josu is so witty, otherwise, why would he have been the first person around Li Baikan for so many years? There's nothing wrong with it. The moment Sunian came out of the company, I saw Li Baikan holding Mo Bao. This made Sunian couldn't help but speed up his pace. Slow down, don't run, we'll be waiting for you here, don't be anxious. Sunian heard Li Baikan's gentle reminder when he took a few steps. When Sunian walked up to him, he reached out and wanted to hug Sunian. But just as he reached out, Sunian stopped him and said, "Don't hug me. You are still holding Mo Bao. What if you squeeze Mo Bao?" When Li Baikan heard this, his movements suddenly froze. Sunian took advantage of this moment to take the calligraphy treasure in his arms. Mo Bao, do you miss your mother? Anyway, my mother misses you and misses you all day long. When Mo Bao heard this, he felt happy. The first thing my mother said when she got off work was that she cared about herself, and she also said that she had been thinking about herself all day long. With such a card, can anyone compare it? He, Mo Bao, is the most important person in my mother's heart. Other people must step aside. Mo Bao nuzzled himself into his mother's arms when he thought of this. Li Baikan stood beside him with a gentle face, looking at his wife and children. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 770. Chapter 770. Can children listen to this? Although Sun Ying felt sorry for Sunian, everyone in the company paid attention to Sunian. After all, 2 years ago, Sunian saved the entire company at once. And it has also made a name for itself in the clothing industry. Although everyone knew that Sunian and Sun Ying were just having fun, it still felt a bit pity that Sunian suddenly announced that she was pregnant and then went home to raise the baby. Now that Sunian reappears, it naturally attracts a lot of attention. Under such circumstances, Sunian had a lot to do, and even Li Baikan sometimes felt that this woman was busier than him. For this reason, Sunian specifically told Li Baikan during the weekend not to call herself, because she would sleep until the end of time. When Sunian woke up, she felt that her whole body felt comfortable. She stretched out on the bed. But when he opened his eyes, Sunian was shocked. Because she actually slept in a strange place. What is this place? No wonder you haven't woken up yet. When Sunian thought of this, he reached out and rubbed his eyes. But his eyes showed that he was not dreaming. Could it be that Li Baikan brought him here? Thinking of this, Sunian got out of bed and walked towards the door. As soon as he opened the door to the room, he heard a man's deep voice, Mo Bao, look what daddy has in his hand, crawl over here quickly. If you crawl over here, daddy will give it to you. Sunian looked over and saw Li Baikan squatting on the ground in a shirt, holding a toy in his hand and dangling in front of Mo Bao. Sunian smiled after seeing it. Ha ha ha, what I know is that he is coaxing the child, but what I don't know is that seeing his posture like this, I might have thought he was teasing the dog. Li Baikan stood up when he heard the voice in his head, are you awake? Well, where are we now? There is an ancient town next to it. I heard that the scenery here is good, so I thought I would take you here for a walk to see if there is anything interesting, so that you can relax a little. Li Baikan felt that Sunian was too busy during this period. Too tired. I just wanted to take Sunian here to relax. Mo Bao snorted in his heart when he heard this. The reason why this happens is because he, a good father, actually wants to leave him to his grandfather. Haha, as a husband, he hasn't gotten along with his wife for a long time. How can he get along with his son? It is impossible to get rid of him. Mo Bao immediately crawled towards his mother. Sunian thought about it carefully and realized that she was indeed a bit busy these days. She knelt down and picked up Mo Bao. You are indeed a little too tired. I carried you here, and you have no intention of waking up after such a long journey. Li Baikan actually wanted to tell Sunian that he didn't need to be so tired, but Li Baikan knew that Sunian was. Although I was busy during this period, I was very happy. As a husband, what else can he do? He can only support her. Of course, if you want to alleviate her hardship, you can also use other methods. Sunian naturally understood what Li Baikan meant, and immediately smiled and said, are you asking for a reward from me? Well, yes, honey, you are so smart. Since you are so smart, I believe you should know what to do. As the two people spoke, the atmosphere gradually became ambiguous. But the next moment, Mo Bao burst into tears in Sunian's arms. Nonsense, what else can he do if he doesn't cry? Can children listen to this? End of this chapter.